All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to do is share with you something very, very important. To me, it's important because I necessarily had to put a great deal of time into making this finding. I was trying to answer the question, why does it seem as though some people have their lives together? You talk of their businesses, their finances, their marriages, their careers, their relationships, they just seem to have everything all together. And then you look to the other side of the spectrum, and it seems as though there are some people who are so stuck, some so suicidal, they just want to end their lives, they just want to end it all. Why that disparity? What makes for that separation? And what I found out is shocking, but yet quite obvious. Life functions by laws, and those who live by these laws will bend reality to favor them. Those who do not will not. There are laws of gravity, laws of aerodynamics, laws of reproduction. Everything in life really functions by laws. So what you want to do is find out the laws that you need to play with for you to get what you want to get. I made a video some time back where I shared 4 extracts from my 14 rules for living meaning. Rules that will help you bend realities. These are laws that the universe just has to function by. If you live by them, you're just going to have your way in life. If you don't live by them, to a large extent, some people, fair enough, stumble on them. But then I know you don't want to live your life to chance. So that video is in the link in the description below. After you watch this video, go check that one out because it's going to build you up to what I'm about to discuss with you right now. So what I'm about to do right now is share with you 5 laws that will help you bend reality to your favor. If you live by these laws, the promise is to a large extent you will have your life under control. If you don't, if you decide to be stubborn, if you decide to reject the fact that these laws are in play, even if you don't acknowledge them, they are still in play. If you don't want to live by them, if you don't want to play with them, well, you're just going to end up at the wrong side of history, right? Which I don't want for you. The first rule, well known by most great achievers, is experience equals confidence. And this is something that many people don't understand, right? When you're trying to be confident at something, you're not going to be confident before getting the experience. You're going to be experienced before you attain the confidence. You need to put in the reps, you need to put in the repetition, you need to get your hands wet, you need to get your feet wet, you need to get your hands dirty. You just have to put in the activity. You just have to keep doing the activity. I don't care what you want to do. Talk of the greatest athletes that we celebrated today: Cristiano Ronaldo, Michael Jordan, whatever the names that come to your mind, right? The reason why we celebrate them is because they've gained mastery. Then the question will be, how did they gain mastery? The only way you can gain mastery in whatever endeavor, whatever activity, is through repetition. From football to basketball to public speaking to business, you need to put in the reps. The only way the muscle gets bigger, the only way your arms can get bigger is if you put in the reps when you go into the gym. If you go to the floor and do some push-ups, if you don't exercise that muscle, it's not going to develop. So if you want to get confident at whatever, public speaking, business, whatever it is that you want to attain some level of mastery in, you need to gain the experience. You need to put in the time, you need to put in the repetition. Now, for those of us who are familiar with the Bruce Wayne movie, Batman, you're going to notice if you watch that movie and kind of watch it to understand what the movie was trying to communicate, right? Initially, when it started, it was all floppy. Everything he tried was an error. He was getting beaten, he was being battered, he was being bullied. But eventually, he became feared by all. Why? Because he kept at it. He went away, reinvented himself, came back, and that time he went away was the time of sacrifice, was the time of practice, was the time when nobody was paying attention, nobody knew where he was. For 10 years, Bruce Wayne went away. He went to live in a monastery somewhere with the monks, and when he came back, he became Batman. So if you want to become the Batman of your own movie, you need to understand that the experience you gain is what will make you a master of whatever activity you're pursuing. So gain the experience, put in the reps. It doesn't matter if nobody is watching you, do it anyways. It doesn't matter if nobody's applauding you, do it anyways. Because once you become confident, once you gain mastery, that's when you get rewarded, not before. The second law I'm passing to you right now for your knowledge is that the only revenge is massive success. Now, this is a correction to so many faulty mindsets and belief systems out there, right? There are some of us who, some people have hurt, justifiably so, right? You've been hurt by some people's activities. Some people have defamed you, some have discriminated against you, some have called you a nobody, some have even blocked you from rising. Some have kind of put in the bad word for you to some other person, right? And you want to get back at them. What you want to know is that to do that, for you to get back at them being in your mind isn't how you do that. You carrying them constantly in your head, thinking of strategizing. I'm going to get back at this person. I'm going to block him here. If he asks me for something, I'm not going to give it to him. If he does, all that is unnecessary, right? All that is them continuously winning. All that is you continuously giving them rent-free space in your mind. You want to stop. What you want to do is go ahead and achieve massively. Go ahead. That thing that doubted you, that you're not going to be able to do, go ahead and achieve it. That goal that they said you're crazy for even imagining it. You're crazy. I'm not going to help you. In fact, I'm going to stop you from attaining it if I can. Go ahead. Just leave them behind. Go ahead and achieve it. Prove you can do it. Go prove you can do it. Prove first to yourself and then to the world. Go ahead and achieve massively. That's the only revenge. Your parents doubted you. You don't want to get back at them. They are your parents. To some degree, some parents are worth getting back at. I'm being sincere. I'm not saying you should hold anybody in your mind. You should forgive everybody, but then some things you just can't forget, right? So instead of keeping yourself up at night strategizing on how to get back at the person, keep yourself up at night strategizing on how to win massively, because that's the only revenge. Third rule, give and it shall be given unto you. Now, many people need to understand that life takes from takers and gives to givers. If you are a taker, life will keep taking from you. To he who has little, even that which he has shall be taken away from him. To he who has much, more shall be given, right? Life takes from takers, gives to givers, and that's fair. Now, you may come to the equation and say, oh, I don't like that arrangement. Some guy has 100 ounces of gold, right? And the other guy has 2. And the guy who has 2 decided to say, okay, I'm going to enjoy it myself. I found peace. I'm going to live my life, lavish it. I mean, it's going to come back. I'm going to spend what I have. And that 2 that he decides to spend ends up in the pocket of the guy who already has 100. You may come to the equation and say, that's not fair. I mean, the poor guy only had 2. How come it went back to the guy, it goes to the guy who has 100 already? That's not fair. Well, that's how life works. Now, you may come to the equation and start complaining, but make sure you're not a victim, right? Just make sure that you're complaining from outside the box. Get to know this. Life takes from takers and gives to givers. If you want more in life, you need to become a contributor. If you want more for your life, you need to become a producer. You need to get out of the realm of consumption and become a producer. And that includes even content, what you're watching me right now. The reason why I'm creating this is because I am a creator. I am a producer. And if you're going to get value from this, but then if you take value out of this and not implement it in creating something that someone else will consume, then you're a consumer, a perpetual consumer. So consume, but then be a producer, right? Consume the right things. Consume the things necessary to help you produce more. But don't be a perpetual consumer. Don't be someone who keeps consuming food, keeps consuming money, keeps consuming, resources. You don't want to be a consumer, all right? Be a producer. Life takes from takers and gives to givers. Be a giver, and life will give more to you. Because the only way really that you get wealthy in life is if you become someone who is a solution to many people's problem, or to a few rich people's problem, right? And this is something that many people don't understand. The world rewards you in accordance to your value. The payment an employee receives is directly measured in proportion to 3 things. First is the value of what you bring to the table, right? How valuable is what you bring to the table? Now, these are the parameters that all individual salaries, all earners of corporations, these are the parameters by which their salaries, their remunerations, their payments is calculated. The value of what you bring into the table. Secondly, is your ability, your proficiency in bringing that value. How good are you at it? Thirdly, is the difficulty of replacing you. How difficult is it for you to get a bartender, right? How difficult is it for you to get someone who will come take out your trash? Not so difficult, right? But how difficult is it for you to get a medical doctor? Very, because it takes a whole lot of expertise for you to become a medical doctor. That's why doctors earn more than trash takers, right? Trashers, whatever the expression you want to use. The value you bring to the table is what will be commensurate to the reward, the value you get back from the table. So if you want to get more value from the table, bring more value to the table. And as a young man, truly you can't be valuable in the society that we live in today if you don't have your finances together. And that's why I made a video some time back where I compared various vehicles of creating wealth, especially as a young man. I speak largely to the young men audience. There are very few women listening to me right now, but then primarily my audience are young men. So my young men out there, you need to get your finances together. And one way you can do that is through the vehicle of real estate. Real estate has been tested, trusted over time. You almost cannot get it wrong. You can, but you almost can't. Now, I don't believe in anything get rich quick, but I believe in something called get rich quicker. I don't believe in anything get rich fast. I'm not an advocate for getting rich fast, but I believe there are vehicles that will help you to get rich faster. Let me give you an example, right? So 3 guys are going a mile west from a certain point. One guy goes with a plane. The other goes with a car. The other decided he wants to walk. Question: who do you think is going to get there first? Obviously, the guy who took the plane, right? Now, is there anything wrong with walking? No. Will you eventually get to your destination? Yes, hopefully. If you don't get kidnapped or robbed or something tragic doesn't happen to you on the road, you're likely to get to your destination safely. The guy who takes the car, that's beautiful, that's faster, that's an improvement on walking, right? But then it's never going to beat the guy who is on the plane, because that guy beats every obstacle. There is nobody who's going to rob you on the air. There is nobody who's going to kidnap you on the air. There is no traffic on the air. You're just going to fly, lift, get to your destination, and that's it. And that's why I love the vehicle of real estate. I made a video sometime back where I compared how you can use the vehicle of real estate in comparison with every other vehicle out there for wealth creation, and why real estate is the best and the safest. The video is on the platform, but then it's restricted for personal reasons. I don't want to expose it to everybody. I just want very few people who truly are interested in creating generational wealth, even transgenerational wealth with real estate. You can start with absolutely nothing to create wealth today, and that's something I can assure you. All you need is the knowledge, and the knowledge is available. I have it on this platform, but then it is restricted. You can only get access to it when I give you access to it. Comment the word interested if you're interested in creating value through the vehicle of real estate, and you may just be one of the lucky persons I give access to that video when the time is right. Now, the fourth law I want to give to you today is that if you don't kill ignorance, ignorance is going to kill you. Now, what many people don't understand is the reason why so many people commit suicide, the reason why many people just want to kill themselves, they don't want to continue living, is because of ignorance. It's because they don't know what next to do with their lives. They're just tired of being static. They're just tired of not progressing. They're just tired of not knowing what next to do, and they decide to take their lives. Trust me, if you don't kill ignorance, ignorance is going to kill you. If you don't kill ignorance in your business, what is it that you don't know about your business? That problem, that thing you don't know will kill you. If you don't kill ignorance in your relationship, how best can your relationship work? How best can you relate with your spouse? How best can you relate with your children? How best can you relate with your business partners if you don't have congruent knowledge on how to function in that realm, in those realms effectively? You're just going to end up dead by the roadside, which is not something I want for you. So go for knowledge. Go for knowledge. What is it you yet to know? It's not the question of what am I unable to do. It's what am I yet to know to enable me do what I need to do. Your ability to do something is dependent on the knowledge you have, the technical know-how you have about that thing. So if you want to do more, know more. And the last rule for this section, very few people actually know, even very few high achievers actually know this rule, and which is enjoy the good times, endure the bad times, because the receipt of life comes with both. What you want to know is life is both good and bad. That's what makes life life. Life is both positive and negative. It's that the yin and yang, right? There has to be a negative for you to appreciate the positive. If you don't have an idea of what poor health is, you're not going to appreciate good health. So the positives are part of life, the negatives are part of life. Embrace them. Enjoy the good times, endure the bad times. The receipt of life just simply comes with both. When the good times come rolling, immerse yourself in them, savor them, marinate yourself in them. When the bad times comes running, know that this too shall pass. Nothing is permanent. The only thing constant in life is the fact that everything changes. Everything changes. Nothing remains the same. I mean, you must have had times in your life where you were looking to get something, right? Maybe it was a new phone, a new car, a new house, and the excitement building up to that was just wow. You were so excited, so anxious, you couldn't wait. Eventually you got it. Where did that go? It just blew away, right? And then something else, a new target, you get the same excitement. When you get it, it lasts for 1 week, 1 day, 1 hour, and it's gone. Same thing for bad experiences, right? You've had experiences where you thought you were going to die from those experiences. You thought they were going to kill you, but eventually they passed. Think of it. Then eventually they pass. Everything passes. The good times will pass, the bad times will pass. Go through it. It's called life. These two shall pass. Life compromises of the yin and the yang. That makes life. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. YouTube is going to recommend a video on your screen right about now. Go click on it after you watch the other video I recommended, and I'll see you on the other side.